J.D. Vance, who is now the running mate of Trump to become vice president of the United States of America, gave his speech. And I want to go over that. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get there. I got me an Indian girl.
United States.
Yeah. First of all, aren't I a lucky guy? Isn't she lovely? Isn't it amazing?
People don't understand the power of having a woman by your side, especially when it comes to endearing yourself to the general public. If you are in any position of power, whether you're running for a political seat or you are leveraging your spouse in order to get higher in corporate America, or you want to reach a larger demographic of people on social media, do not underestimate the power of having a woman by your side. It absolutely, positively is a cheat sheet, even if you are mad and you are bothered by the fact that you don't necessarily like women and you want to be red-pilled and all of that stuff. Do not underestimate the power of having a woman by your side and being able to leverage that visibility in order to become more successful. It works, trust me.
Greetings, Milwaukee, my fellow Americans and my fellow Republicans. My name is J.D. Vance from the great state of Ohio. Tonight, here, so my friends, tonight is a night of hope, a celebration of what America once was, and with God's grace, what it will soon be again. Of the sacred duty we have to preserve the American experiment, to choose a new path for our children and grandchildren. But as we meet tonight, we cannot forget that this evening could have been so much different. Instead of a day of celebration, this could have been a day of heartache and mourning. For the last 8 years, President Trump has given everything he has to fight for the people of our country. He didn't need politics.
I'm skipping through all of the claps.
But the country needed him.
I'm doing well, Cyrus.
Now, prior to running for president, he was one of the most successful businessmen in the world. He had everything anyone could ever want in a life. And yet, instead of choosing the easy path, he chose to endure abuse, slander, and persecution. And he did it because he loves this country. I want all Americans to go and watch the video of a would-be assassin coming a quarter of an inch from taking his life. Consider the lies they told you about Donald Trump, and then look at that photo of him, defiant, fist in the air, when Donald Trump rose to his feet in that Pennsylvania field. All of America stood with him.
One of the greatest photos of our lifetime. That's for sure. One of the greatest photos of our lifetime.
For our country, to fight for America. Even in his most perilous moment, we were on his mind. His instinct was for us, for our country, to call us to something higher, to something greater, to once again be citizens who ask what our country needs of us. Now consider what they said. They said he was a tyrant. They said he must be stopped at all costs. But how did he respond? He called for national unity, for national calm, literally right after an assassin nearly took his life. He remembered the victims of the terrible attack, especially the brave Corey Compertori, who gave his life to protect his family. President Trump flew to Milwaukee and got back to work. Now, that's the man I've gotten to know personally over the last few years. He is tough, and he is, but he cares about people. He can stand defiant against an assassin one moment and call for national healing the next. He is a beloved father and grandfather, and of course, a once-in-a-generation business leader. He's the man who is feared by America's adversaries, but 2 nights ago, and I'll share a moment, said goodnight to his 2 boys, told them he loved them, and made sure to give each of them a kiss on the cheek. And I will say, Don and Eric squirmed the same way my 4-year-old does when his daddy tries to give him a kiss on the cheek. Sorry, guys. He is all those things, but tonight we celebrate he is our once and future President of the United States of America.
It's a good speech, expected, but a decent speech.
I want to respond to his call for unity myself. We have a big tent in this party on everything from national security to economic policy. But my message to you, my fellow Republicans, is we love this country and we are united to win.
I have never seen a Republican Party this united than I have now. And it's almost like they went through a storming phase to get to the norming phase. And if anybody is familiar with corporate America, the storming and norming phase, that is the Republican Party largely rejected MAGA and Trump initially when he first hit the scene, when he was advocating for and campaigning for becoming president of the United States of America. And it's not until almost 8 years later, thank you, Young Haiti, I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. It's not until almost 8 years later that they got through that storming phase and they're in the norming phase. And now you see the Democratic Party completely in shambles and they're starting to reject each other. But we're going to get there in a second.
Right.
Somebody said, let me read this super chat. Says, talk about how you hated him, then flipped the script, my guy, then flip-flop guy. Listen, it's a lot of people that you don't necessarily rock with or you don't agree with when you first see them. I say it all the time. I reserve the right to change my mind. Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes when I first seen Trump hit the scene and I thought that he was just doing it for marketing purposes and he didn't really believe that he could win the United States of America presidency, I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. I was wrong in thinking that some of the people that I voted for back in the day and Obama had my best interests at heart. I was wrong. I flip-flopped the other way on some of the people that I voted for in previous years. And so the same way that you can flip when it comes to somebody then being the best candidate because you realize as you age and as you get older and as you become more mature that you had the wrong perspective about what it meant to be in this particular party in general, the same way that we flipped from our parents and they told us to continue to vote a certain type of way for the rest of our lives just because we black, there's the same way that we flip-flop when it comes to some of the people that did some of the worst things to us. If y'all flipped and flip-flopped on y'all parents and then held them accountable for creating a space that allowed for you to be in a position that you in today as far as the negativity that you experiencing, maybe we would have a better society because then they would hold themselves accountable and then you can go on and have better children and break generational curses. But see, there's nothing wrong with getting new information and changing your mind. The problem that we have in this society is that people remain steadfast just so they can stay down. They want to hold on to the code. And that code gonna have you broke, dusty, and being a single parent and having somebody take over your jobs and the opportunities that you once had because you're not evolving and you're not changing in your thinking and your mindset.
It's actually make us stronger. That's what I've learned in my time in the United States Senate, where sometimes I persuade my colleagues and sometimes they persuade me. And my message to my fellow Americans, those watching from across the country, is shouldn't we be governed by a party that is unafraid to debate ideas and come to the best solution? That's the Republican Party of the next 4 years, united in our love for this country and committed to free speech and the open exchange of ideas. And so tonight, Mr. Chairman, I stand here humbled, and I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to say I officially accept your nomination to be Vice President of the United States of America.
I think that it's a great speech. Maybe I'll do a whole live stream over the weekend to break it down completely. Shout out to sister. I love you. You said that you're feeling much better. I love that. Let me give a round of applause to my girl sister. Everybody always want to say how wrong you are, but very few people can actually speak to exactly what you're wrong about. I don't know how many times, and you guys have witnessed it yourselves. I can't tell you how many days, literally thousands of different live streams to where I've dropped the link in a chat, or I've left it pinned to the top of the chat, or I leave the link still. Even to this day, I leave the link up on After Hours for people to be able to come up and express whatever it is that they feel towards me. But they just say that you're wrong. About what? My life is showing that I'm right. They say that you'll know them by their fruits. I've made myself available to people to hold me accountable, and they fail to do so. Most of you people are just in your feelings. You're just in your emotions, you and your feelings. Most of the time, people that are in their feelings, they can't make a logical decision. I'll do you one even better. Most of the people that rock with me today, a lot of them didn't even rock with me when they first discovered me, but they stuck around long enough to realize that I'm right. And not only am I right, I'm going to help you get to a bag. Not only am I right, I'm going to help you to be successful. Not only am I right, but I'm going to help you to become a better father. I'm going to help you become a better husband. I'm going to help you to become a better wife. I'm going to help you to become a better sister. I'm going to help you to become a better saint. The saints. The saints. It's the saints. The saints are the ones that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, meaning that we understand that out of your ignorance, you're going to persecute us, or you're going to say that we're wrong. But in reality, we know that we're right. And because we're willing to stay steadfast,